Yo, ho, hold together, hoist the colors high. Evil thieves and beggars never shall we die.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dreamality and welcome to my review for Sea of Thieves. Is this game worth your money? Is it worth your time? That's what I'm here to help answer. Let's begin by addressing the obvious, the visuals. Wow, absolutely incredible. Round of applause, 2 thumbs up. The first time I entered this world, I was smiling ear to ear because it looks so good. It's a world I want to be in. I love the art style, the lighting is incredible, and everybody's talking about the water. Why? Because it looks incredible. The water is absolutely amazing. Even after playing for over 30 hours, the game still surprises me with how great it looks. The day and night cycles, the weather, it's all top notch. You want to know what else is incredible? The game's audio. The music is good. The main theme has been stuck in my head for a couple days now. Your pirates have instruments and you can play some songs. It's a fun little feature. What steals the show though is the sound of the water, the sound of the wind hitting the sails, the sound of the boat on the water, the sound of a cannonball whipping past my ear and nailing the shore next to me. 2 thumbs up for audio and graphics. Sea of Thieves is an always online multiplayer game. You can set sail alone or have up to 3 people be part of your crew. Even if you choose solo, you will still be in a lobby with other players. There are 2 ships to choose from currently, the sloop and the galleon. The sloop is smaller and easier to manage. Up to 2 players can make up a crew on this one. The galleon is much larger, and up to 4 players make up its crew. You begin your journey by selecting a pre-made pirate. You can't customize one from scratch. You can refresh the page as much as you want until you find one you like. You're then thrown into the game with no explanation of what you should do and how to do it, which is surprisingly not very direct, and I can see some players being lost and a bit overwhelmed at first. I began by jumping straight into a 4-person galleon with my mic on and ready. My random crew members happen to have mics as well, and they taught me some of the ropes. After you learn the basics, the game becomes a breeze. It's all very simple. Everyone starts with the same items, and because you can only buy cosmetics, no veteran player is going to have an upper hand over a newcomer. Just about everything you do in this game is for gold. What do you do with this gold? Well, you use it to buy cosmetics. The cosmetics are stupid expensive. It's deflating, it's unmotivating. I stopped caring about the cosmetics a long time ago. There are currently 4 weapons to choose from: a sword, pistol, shotgun, and sniper. You can hold up to 2 weapons at a time. The sword has a basic attack and a lunge attack. The guns have 5 bullets and you need to get ammo from ammo crates. Bananas are used to restore health. The combat is very dull, and there's hardly any variation in the enemy types. The AI enemies are primarily skeletons. There is a boss skeleton, a regular skeleton, and 3 variations of that regular skeleton that require different strategies. The combat has no lasting appeal. In terms of wildlife, there are snakes everywhere, and they will attack you. Not very crazy about the snakes, but I do like the sharks in this game. There is one more AI enemy: the Kracken. You have to shoot its tentacles. If you aren't able to fight it off, then it will sink your ship, and if you have any loot, you're going to lose everything. The Kracken appears randomly. In my 30 hours of playing, I only versed it twice. The first time we were able to fight it off. Honestly, I was left thinking, that's it? That's the mighty Kracken? The second time was more awesome. More on that a bit later. Overall, I'm disappointed. I would have liked to see much more variety in the enemies and a bit more complexity to the combat. Because of the combat system, versing players is a bit underwhelming as well. In terms of ship combat, you can use the cannons to fire cannonballs or yourself at the enemy. If you crash into something or the enemy ship hits you with some cannonballs, your ship takes damage. Once your ship is damaged, you'll start taking in water. If you can't fix it fast enough, then you'll sink. Nobody wants to sink, right? So here's what you do. You take wooden planks and you use them to repair the ship. Every player has a bucket and you use it to drain the water. I do enjoy the battles, though sometimes it can be a bit slow with the chasing and the realigning, but even so, there's still something very cool about battling it out with all these waves. Whenever I saw a ship, I always felt tempted to go into battle. And also, if you can take them out, you can steal their loot. How often did I see another ship? There were times when playing for an hour, I saw up to 3 ships. There were other times where I played for 4 hours straight and didn't see a single ship. I do like the sailing in this game. Yeah, it's slow, but I find it relaxing. On the ship, you can raise and lower the anchor, the sails. You can also set the angle of the sails. The wind is dynamic, so you're going to want to set the sails accordingly if you want to get to your destination as fast as possible. If you're the one steering, you have a compass you can follow. It also helps to have crewmates who tell you how far you are or if you're going in the right direction. Unfortunately, there isn't much to do on the ship right now, and trying to get where you need to go can take a while, 5, 10, sometimes 15 minutes. In terms of exploration, sometimes you'll find a sunken ship. They may contain some treasures. Exploring the sunken ships and watching out for sharks is one of my favorite things about the game. On islands, you can find supplies, cannonballs, bananas, and planks. Rarely will you find some random treasure or trinket. The map may be large, but the world feels empty. I was looking forward to exploring islands to see if there would be any treasures or interesting landmarks. There's none of that. Cannonballs, bananas, and planks for your ship, as well as a ton of snakes. That is it every single time. Outposts are scattered around the map. That's where you can buy items, sell loot, and collect voyages. You can hold up to 3 voyages at a time, and depending on which faction you collect the voyage from, the missions play differently. There are 3 factions: the Gold Hoarders, the Order of Souls, and the Merchant Alliance. In the captain's quarters, you can place a voyage, and players vote on which one they want to do. Once the vote is settled, here's how they play out. The Gold Hoarders have you collecting treasure chests. You are given a map of an island that you must find on the ship's map to set your course. Get to the island, try to find the X by using visual clues, take out your shovel, dig, grab the chest, and return to your ship. These voyages may give you a riddle instead of a treasure map. In this case, the first line tells you the island you need to go to. You get there, and the next line reveals itself. They mostly have you finding a landmark like a mural and performing an action. Finding the murals on these islands range from "Oh wow, that was quick," to "Oh my goodness, it's been 20 minutes, where is this thing?" Once you reach the final line, you have to find the location. You pull out your compass and walk a specific number of steps in a specific direction given to you by the clue. You pull out your shovel, dig, and boom, there's the treasure. I did enjoy the riddle missions, yes, even when they took a while. My problem is when the riddle has multiple lines, you know what the solution is going to be. You know every single time you find the mural, you're gonna have to either play music for it or shine your light on it. Just those 2 things. Every time. The Order of Souls voyages have you going to an island, fighting some waves of skeletons until the captain shows up. Kill the captain, collect his skull, and that's it. Again, the game's combat is pretty dull, and so as a result, these missions become dull as well. The Merchant Alliance voyages have you catching pigs, chickens, and collecting spices. These are easily my least favorite. As a matter of fact, everyone I met while playing this game hated these missions as well. All I'm saying is, who plays a pirate game to catch chickens? When you sell your loot back to the factions, you gain reputation and gold. The higher your reputation for a faction, the more expensive the voyages you can buy from them, which in turn means better rewards. The problem is you still don't get much gold in comparison to how expensive everything is in this game. The amount of time to complete these missions doesn't justify the amount of gold rewarded. By far the fastest way to gain gold and build reputation is by completing the skeleton forts. These spawn randomly. In them you have to fight off waves of enemies. Until the boss shows up, you kill him, you collect a vault key, you open up the vault, and there's all the loot. These can take about 20 to 30 minutes. A regular voyage can take just as long, but we're talking a couple hundred gold versus over 4,000. It's a no-brainer, which is why you can expect to see other players attacking the fort as well. Once you reach level 50 reputation for every faction, you become a pirate legend. With the way the game is structured right now, dull combat, repetitive missions, little to explore, little reward, expensive items, I feel zero desire to work for that pirate legend status. There is crossplay in this game, so PC players and Xbox players are playing together. I've played the game a bit on PC, I've mostly been playing on my Xbox. On one hand, I like the crossplay. I've met a lot of awesome people who are playing on PC. On the other hand, there have been reports of some PC players trying to ruin the fun for everyone. You know, cheating and hacking the game. Because of that, I think players should have the option to turn on or off crossplay. The last thing I want to cover here is the experience. Even though I have a lot of complaints regarding the gameplay, I've been playing the game for about 30 hours, right? A majority of that time, I have been having a lot of fun. How's that possible? My enjoyment came entirely from playing with not only other people, but other people who have a mic. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the way to play the game. For one, communicating makes objectives less of a headache. But objectives aside, you're going to have fun. Playing solo is very boring. The community has been awesome. Everyone I met while playing this game made it a great time. Here's the story of my favorite moment while playing this game. These random 3 players and I all had mics, and for about 2 hours we were going around doing voyages, collecting loot. We figured it finally came time to return to an outpost to sell the goods. I know it's going to be some time before we get to this outpost, so I tell them, yeah, I'm gonna get some water, you guys got things covered. I take off my headset and go get some H2O.
It has a cannon tower outside of it. Yeah, it's beyond that. It's the one behind it. The mountain pillars sticking out. I can see the lights.
Yeah, the spirals. Yeah.
Yeah, what's up? Kracken, 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 Kracken. Grab cannons and get ready. Kracken, Kracken, Kracken.
When I return, I hear all this shouting going on from the headset. I'm thinking, what in the world is going on? I put on the headset and they're screaming, Kracken! 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 Pause for a second. Before that moment, I did verse the Kraken one other time about 10 hours before, and it was an easy battle. But in that span of 10 hours, every single person who I spoke to about the Kraken said they weren't able to fight it off and they lost all their loot. Was the first time I versed it just a fluke? I don't want to lose all this loot. Unpause. I turn around and I fall off the boat. Gosh darn it, Dream. Luckily, I was able to grab back on. I get to the top, everyone's shouting. I can't remember where anything is. Of the 4 of us playing, there was one player who knew what he was doing. His presence alone made me feel safe. The Kraken knew this, and so it grabbed him right away. Okay, all I gotta do is shoot the tentacle and he'll be free. The Kraken then throws him very far away from the boat. He lands into water next to some sharks. It was at that moment I knew we were going to lose everything. We tried, but the Kraken won.
Shit, I can't see anything. Oh no, I think I'm being attacked by a shark. Shit. Oh, it's got its tentacle around the ship. We have so much loot. No.
Where the fuck is he?
Shoot it, do something.
Oh wow. We need to repair, yeah, we gotta repair this.
And get your, oh man.
Oh,
shoot it.
No. No.
Good job. Shoot, we got repairs. What's going on? Repairs, we're sinking. No. Oh, fuck.
No.
Guys, repairs now.
No.
Get this here. Get this.
Grab the chest.
Oh my god. Shit.
God damn it, man. We've been at this for hours. We lost everything. Oh, no. Hey, mark this on the map.
Crack.
Do we know where we're...
I sank with the ship. As I was consumed by the blackness of the sea, I couldn't help but think about everything we had gone through up to that moment. Even though we lost a couple hours worth of work, none of us were upset. A bit deflated, sure, but we laughed about it. Because even though we lost everything, we gained something. A memory made, a story to tell. And that, my friends, was worth more than any gold we would have received from any outpost. It was moments like this that defined my experience. Moments both large and small. From listening to a player tell dramatic stories of nonsense in a pirate's voice while another player played dramatic music, to defending a solo player from a galleon that had been chasing him for an hour so he can sell his loot. It is because of the people I always looked forward to booting up the game. To a large degree, I believe the game is as fun as you want it to be, and as fun as the people you play with. This is your adventure to forge. That brings us to the conclusion. I had a lot of fun playing this game. That is entirely due to playing with a microphone and playing with people who had microphones. I kid you not, every person I played this game with, every person I met who had a microphone, used a pirate voice at one time or another, which I think is awesome. You're letting loose, have fun. Do I ever speak with a pirate voice? Of course I do. We made it a great time, but I have reached my limit. As awesome as the people are, you can only do the same thing for so long. At least that's the case for me. On a positive note, I do like exploring the shipwrecks, and I like the sailing. I find it very relaxing. The audio and art department hit a home run. The game sounds incredible and it looks incredible. The way it is right now, I don't consider Sea of Thieves a good game. Why? You can see everything the game has to offer in just a couple of hours. The combat is dull. There is hardly any variety in the enemy types. The game feels empty. There's very little to explore. The missions are very repetitive. Progression is terrible. The items are way too expensive. This is most definitely not a complete game. Far from it. Yes, with time it can improve, and I hope it does. There's a lot of potential here. Look, I want a great pirate game. The game will improve with time. The game will be good with time. I feel like we're saying this more and more now. Call me old-fashioned, but I want the game to be great day one. I want it to have content day one. Is the game worth your money? Is it worth your time? I'm so happy I didn't buy this game for $60. I played for free using the Xbox Game Pass. There's a 2-week free trial on Xbox and on PC. I enjoyed my time with the game and I do believe it's worth trying out. I think as a player, you'll either find it very boring or you'll have a good time, have fun. Again, highly recommend playing the game through Game Pass. Just isn't worth buying right now. You have heard my thoughts, now it's time to share yours. If you played the game, do you think it's fun? Is it boring? Is it disappointing? Do you see potential? Do we all agree the water looks amazing? Did you enjoy the catching of chickens? Most importantly though, let me know what you guys want to see added to the game. I hope this review was helpful, I hope it was enjoyable. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And of course, thank you for watching. Just a couple more things here. If you missed my last video, I reviewed Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's the game that drove me to the brink of insanity. My next review is going to be of Far Cry 5. I'm ready to play this game and see how it is. That's all for now. I will see you all soon, and thanks again.